You guys should all be able to see me in that camera, right? I'm red, orange, and yellow. That means I'm the warmest thing inside that shot. Everything around me should be somewhat blue or black. Now, with me being red, orange, and yellow, those are the warmest things in the camera. So again, we're gonna try to keep somebody in view at all times. So Sergio, this is gonna be a start and stop kind of mentality all night because the new software for this beautiful piece of hardware sucks. I'm just gonna put it out there. So it's already recording, but you will hold it horizontal all night long. Okay. So that's one's gonna go to you. And we're gonna go more into that as we move along. So
you guys are blue.
This.
Uh-oh. Yeah, what does blue, I'm assuming if it's colder,
the blue
it's
are the cold spots. Okay. So really what we're looking for in that are the blue spots to either form and make shapes on their own or for them to move intelligently on their own. So again, it's a very interesting tool. Does it catch something every single night? It does not, but it does need to be recording at the hot spot so that way we can actually catch it. So, next thing we're going to be working with, the neuralizer from Men in Black. None of you are going to remember a damn thing by the time we're done. These are actual lasers. So, again, lots of little dots there on the ground. So the point of this is that you can see the pen in my hand, you can see the dots on the ground, but you can't see the lasers until something passes through it. So we're literally going to be taking pictures, hundreds of them, in hopes that something is going to capture here. Because by the time we actually see it and get the camera out, it's going to be gone. So we're going to use two different styles of lasers. The next one's going to give us red squares. Why do we use red squares? In the event we capture something here, I can then put it in 3D software and give you the full 3D operation of what we caught along with measurements. I've had this thing for almost a year. Have I caught anything with it that the 3D software will take yet? I have not. It's come close, but it has not. So the way we use these guys, they go side by side. We don't cross the streams, they will make you dizzy. So we're going to be taking pictures literally through those lasers, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. So with somebody having a little bit of fear, Jordan, these are going to go to you because you need a partner. So I want her to stick with you all night long. Okay. So Jackie, we'll see how I do with names tonight. So far I'm doing pretty good. So
don't give me camera. Don't give me camera.
Why?
Give it to her. She's more brave than I. That's why
this is why I'm giving you this. Everything else is going to show you a ghost is on top of you. Yeah. Get the camera. So go ahead and shine one of your lasers down for me. Okay. Let's do the demo. I need you to kind of figure them out. The pen has a little dot. You got to hold it on. So Jackie, you're literally going to be taking pictures through the lasers. Through them, not down at them. I know what they look like on the ground. I'm trying to capture something here, so you're going to be anywhere between 2 to 5 feet away, shooting through the lasers. Cool. Nice and simple. Cool. You got this.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Don't mess it up, Jackie.
Yeah, put that around your wrist.
Spirit boxes. I got several different types. I've seen somebody's eyes lighting up. So, spirit boxes are a way for us to communicate with the dead. So the way this guy works is actually going to sweep through the FM radio stations at a very quick rate. Why do I want this? It's the same white noise you guys hear on TV. So you guys have all seen the ghost hunting shows, I'm assuming. That's why you're here. This one is slowed down because it gives us the radio chatter on purpose. I want the song lyrics, the DJs, the commercials to come through. I want you to tell me what those things say. It's a 50-50 shot. I can tie it to the location of where we are, a person we're talking about in history, or something even going on with one of us. Happens all the time. This one will record the entire session for us. So even when I say spirit box is down so I can tell you the history of the location, this one's good. It's recording. You will get the full recording back with about 15 to 20 markers. Even if it's not relevant. If it is relevant, I'll give you the explanation and then a backlink of where I got my information from. If it's not relevant, it'll just simply be listed. Why do I give you things that aren't relevant? Your ears aren't trained to be listening to this thing all the time. You kind of need to hear what I'm hearing when I'm going through it. I'm only going to spot check it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. That's what you guys paid me for. Ghost hunting isn't just field work. It's the next morning as well, going through all of the data. So, Elizabeth, was it? This one's going to go to you.
Hey, you're all blue, baby.
Alright, the only button you need to worry about is there's a little wheel right here at the very top that controls the volume. Obviously, when I'm talking to the whole group, you want to keep it down.
Okay.
And it won't turn into a ghost if it's dead.
Alright, the next one. This one, because we do have a group of 10, this one will be used in conjunction with somebody else. So that's why I'm kind of picking the group of 4, so that way each other group of 2 actually has 2 different devices. So this one does the exact same thing that Elizabeth's is doing, only it does not record. So the 2 people that have this can kind of verify each other and then report back to me of what they actually heard. So this one's going to go to the 2 of you. You also have one button to worry about. It's on the side of this ball speaker. You're going to turn it up when I say go ahead and get those spirit boxes up and running. It's a slow start. Just hold it there. Obviously, when I'm talking, you're going to hold it down. So go ahead and play with it for a minute and try to find out where that button is.
So what are we doing with this?
So you're going to be listening and asking questions based on
You're going to make the question. Are you going to ask questions?
Yes.
What's that?
Look at it. What's the volume?
So you'll hold it up. It's a gentle hold. Just leave it there. Perfect. And then you'll hold it down, obviously, to turn it back down.
That's freaky. Son.
It is.
All right. The last spirit box that I have is going to go to you guys. So this one is actually going to give us words in the center of the screen from time to time and save all of those words with timestamps to a list. My last group only had 53 terms. That's a little light. I normally get about 65 to 75 average. So I'm going to clear them out and start you guys off fresh. 80% of what comes up on this thing is BS. It doesn't mean anything. This thing is meant to be a game and a hoax. The game we're playing with this tonight is the word coming up that we can see. Is it coming from a ghost or is it coming from an app? Again, I'm looking for specific details. It's not going to be yes or no questions that we're working with tonight, and I'll explain more about that as we move along. So the first word we have is subject. That should be first on your word list. To get to the list, you hit the little white button next to the word. It's to the right. And then it'll show you the word list. It's not there yet. It showed up at the same time I cleared it. The only other button you need to worry about is that top right. Clear it back to go back to your next one. All right. So, where are we now? EMF meters are an absolute must when we're working out here. So you guys have all seen these on TV. They're very sensitive. So again, this one is going to be our first clue that something is actually happening around us. We're still going to try to debunk it. Why? Because electronics are going to make it go off as well. So again, I'm always going to look for wiring. I'm going to be looking for how close are you to a building, so forth and so on. I don't want this thing to be a rhythm or a pulse. I want it to be erratic. So when it goes crazy, that's when, Diana, was it? That's when you're going to let us know what's going on. There's no buttons, there's no noise, no vibration. All you got to do is watch it, let us know. This next one. This one has 3 different functions to it. So, Teresa, this one's going to go to you.
Okay.
I'm just making sure I got all the names down. It seems like I'm doing okay. You guys are answering to the right person that I'm looking for. So, this one also has an EMF meter in it, so your big numbers. Anything above 2.5 is her second green dot. So anything above that, I want to know what's going on. The bottom number, the reason why I'm handing this to you, is in case Sergio finds something on his camera, you and I can figure out if it's something coming from a man-made object based on the temperature. It does have ambient temperature based on this probe right here. The last thing that it has is it has a motion sensor on it. So in the event something gets close to the antenna that I just pulled out, it's going to go off. So again, the closer it gets, the higher it's going to go. We don't always keep that on. We're going to show you more about that because it is a third function at the first location. So right now, just leave the little flap open. Watch your big numbers.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I'm looking for anything above a
2.5.
Okay.
And me and London will always be at the ready. So, yeah.
How do we know if something's important on this? Like, what are we looking for?
So, based on the locations where we are, like, we're going to talk about this building behind me. So that way you guys will kind of get a gist of what is going on. So I will always ask where we're at with the word list, just so you guys know. All right. Last device, because we do have one more to go through. It will go to you, just so you know. So we did have a long range on this. It snapped off. The other one did not overnight in time, so we are going to be working with one light on this. Let me show you what this guy does. You should not be able to see me in that camera. It should be pretty dark. I know it's a small screen, but again, pretty dark. So let's turn on some lighting. We're working with full spectrum lighting on this guy. Notice you can't see the light with your own eyes, so we're looking for things out of the dark to kind of pop up, the things that should not be reflecting light. So we did have a one on the top, and it snapped off on my last tour. Again, the creator couldn't get it to me quick enough. It's going to be here for my next tour, hopefully. So again, are you right or left-handed? Right, perfect. So it's already set up that way. It has a handle. You're going to be a GoPro guy all night long. Same thing with the video on him. Once we get started, I'm going to go ahead and just start the recording now. So you're going to be a start and stop kind of person too, because we only have so much time on there, and it will fill the battery. So you're already set to go too. Just so you guys know too, you'll see on the strap of my bag, I do have an audio recording. I started it when we all met up, aside from the two of you, so you'll get that first couple of minutes. There wasn't much that you missed. So you get that for two reasons. First off, you're not going to be hearing stories that you can hear on any other tour because we're not going to be going to those type of places. Second, you're going to be listening for EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon, messages other than what the radio chatter is going to give us through these spirit boxes. So if you guys find something in it, you'll all have my contact info. You get a hold of me and tell me what you found. I don't listen to this because I already have the stories memorized. I'm more interested in what's going on with your other stuff. So an EVP might be something, and again, it's going to be busy tonight too. So again, it'll pick up all the cars, and this way it stays on me. So everybody's got devices or a shared set of devices.
Stay together?
Oh yeah, we're gonna stay together.
Oh,
We're working together as a team, just so you guys know.
Should I be turning this on and off or keep it on at all
You wanna,
times?
I'll give you the cues.
Gotcha. It's on right now.
Yeah, it's recording right now. If you have a red square, it's recording. All right, so let's talk about the building behind me.
I knew it, you see?
I tell you guys the 250. Oh, watch your lasers, by the way. Who's got the lasers?
I do.
Okay, you gotta watch those. They will set off car alarms.
Okay.
And when I have kids on the tour, they will not get lasers because Nick will go to jail. So that's how important they are to stay on the ground.
You
Just
see
be
me,
careful.
boy?
London saw it, and I heard her gasp, and I'm like, oh, I saw it too, because your red dot went straight up.
Yeah,
We're not beaconing any helicopters down today. So they are that far. That thing will shoot probably a good 2 miles.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty far. All right, back to the building behind me. I know you guys all have questions. The place behind me is about to be renovated, and they're going to call it Big John's. They're going to rename it Big John's because it used to be called that back in the 50s through the 70s. It was named after a football player. Again, I already told you guys I wasn't a sports guy, but I had to memorize this stuff so I could tell you guys every night. It's a very interesting story. Big John was a football player for the 1947 New York Giants. He used to tell the bartender if the cadets coming over from the Citadel if they were old enough to drink or not. One night, two guys come in, they're not old enough. He has the bartender throw them out. They leave pretty pissed off. They come back the next night and they try to steal the cash register from the front of the bar. John sees what's going on and just starts pounding these guys into the floor. A couple of shots go off. John gets hit in the neck with a bullet and it lands in the wall. John gets up. By the way, he's the only one that got shot. Goes back to the bar and tells the bartender to get him another beer and get the two guys on the floor in ambulance. Now, nobody died in that story, and John's the only one that got shot, and the two guys that he beat up are still on the floor. What's haunting the place is allegedly the bullet hole is still here. I say allegedly because we're renovating the place. I gotta go back in and check after they're done. I was there last time I checked, what, a year and a half ago. So, people that sit in the front of the bar tend to get a little queasy, nauseous, headaches, light symptoms. I bring the story up on purpose. It's a reason why we start here. Anybody starts to feel any of those things, I need to know immediately so we can move the whole group out of that area. I'm not gonna say that people have not passed out from having too much activity on this tour. So I don't put that obviously in the description because nobody would book tickets. So let's not talk about our own health because Jackie's getting like looking at me like, are you serious? I'm gonna get sick too? So I haven't had an instance in over a year. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen again tonight. Same building. We had a big earthquake here in 1886. If you've ever taken any kind of Charleston tour, you already knew that. But this is allegedly where the first death occurred. The mantle you see, the white mantle in the middle of the building, also wraps around the front of the building. A piece of that broke off, struck somebody in the back of the head, and killed him. They say you can see his ghost in the middle of East Bay Street in the middle of the night. Now, I said allegedly and apparently a lot with that story because I don't have any proof of it. It's just a great segue so you guys aren't thinking about getting sick on the tour. So, that was supposed to be a joke, So, all right. Are you guys all ready to go ghost hunting and learn more about your tools?
Ready.
All right. We're going to actually head this way. London's going to lead the way.
Oh, cool.
It's my daughter, London.
Don't tell me now. Tell me later.
all stayed on green. There's a couple little ones there.
Wait, should I have this on?
Not yet. Actually, go ahead and turn yours down. I got to give you guys a history so you guys know what you're looking for, right?
Yes.
So welcome to the Big Red Barn lot. Every place we go to is going to be kind of like the next level up. This one is super easy. This just gets you used to your devices. It's a one-liner piece of history, and this way me and Lennon can bounce around with all of you. So this is where we keep the horses for the carriage rides. Okay, so you guys can probably smell them, right? Because they're right inside those windows. I can't smell them because I'm here every night. So, but the only history I have of this place is this is the same place that we held horses that delivered milk and eggs to the residents of Charleston. That's how old it is. So we're talking 1860s to 1920s, roughly. Let's talk spirit boxes. We got 3 of them out there. Where are my spirit box folks? So I got 1, 2, where's the third one? So you have one. I consider it a spirit box. So the 3 of you, this is not TV. This is not, is somebody here? Because that's a yes or no question, right? Because if somebody answers no, that means somebody's here. They just lied to you. Right. So again, we're going to stay away from yes and no questions all night long. We want the details. That's why you guys are here. We want actual paranormal proof. We want to see if this stuff is actually real, right? So if somebody's here, tell me what color the Big Red Barn is. Obviously, you're going to be listening and looking on the word list for the color red. Now, with that being said, if a DJ song lyric or commercial is not going to give us the word red, these things are like Bumblebee from Transformers. They're going to give us words that they can find to be able to portray the message back to us. So it might be fire truck, blood, heart. All 3 of those things are specifically red. What color is a Big Red Barn? Heart. I would accept that as an acceptable answer. Now, let's talk about other clues. We're still close to Big John's. Let's say you hear the number 40 and we have the word art on your word list. Art Faircloth was number 40 on Big John's team. That was his jersey number. The number 40 means nothing without it. Now, unless you get a direct answer like what color is the Big Red Barn, heart, fire truck, that makes sense to me. But all of a sudden we have 2 things that don't make sense to the question you asked. It's all about where your location is. They're going to reach and grab for anything they can get to portray that message. So at times, I'm going to always give you questions to ask at every location. If you can go rogue if you want to, I'm just giving you stuff to hopefully inspire and things that I've gotten in the past. But let's say you don't get an answer to what color is the Big Red Barn. What's inside the barn? They have animals, horses, or draft horses. So they were delivery for milk and eggs. These are all key words. Milk and eggs could also be protein and calcium. And that's a big deal. I will always give you keywords for every story and kind of go through it. Over there was 47. Not to mention Big John and anything related to a bar. I'm going to take it. So here it's obviously anything related to horses and those other keywords that I told you. So again, this is a place where me and London get to bounce around with all of you. I am going to work with the 2 cameramen first, and I think London should go to the laser pair first to kind of get them going. But I do work with the 2 cameras so I can, kind of knock them out real quick. Spirit boxes, this is a place where you can use them. If you're going to get close to those windows up there, the horses don't like the white noise, so just keep it audible to 1 to 2 people only. So we don't want to get too loud near the ponies. They will kick that wall. If you guys wanted a jump scare, that's the way to get it. Crank your spirit box up over there. It gets loud. But again, I'm going to steal the 2 cameramen, and then I'm going to work with Teresa on her millimeter, and then we're going to bounce around and see what you guys heard on your spirit boxes. You will see me taking notes tonight as well. Things that don't record, I still want you guys to know what happened when I'm talking to all these folks. So let's spread out. We are going to stay within the confines of this lot. Lasers, again, don't put them on any cars and cannot go on that building. You will spook them with that too. So London is going to work with you on those first, and I'll steal the cameraman and Teresa over here. All right, so with your specific camera, it's super simple. Again, you guys are both going to be kind of start and stop all night. A, because your software. Second, because of the battery life on your device. At 9 minutes and 26 seconds, it will reset because that's exactly 4 gigs. That's when it puts in a new file. Your video tomorrow will not be in order. The way it separates it is the biggest sizes, and then it kind of, so you might be here and then at the Pinky Mansion site and somewhere else and back and forth. But again, you want to keep this light on all night long. Normally, I say turn this one on and off based on how close people get, so that way it doesn't bleach out. And keep the long range one on, but the long range one obviously snapped off. So again, my apologies, but hopefully we can, this is still a new device for us too. We've only had it for about 2 months. It's an amazing piece of hardware, the way my wife pieced it all together for me. But again, it's very fragile. So again, I'm looking for things in the dark. If you want to point this thing at me, for example, I should be in a purple circle, right? Anything that's over here is what I'm looking for, because that light is bright enough to be able to capture my right hand up in the corner. So I want things to kind of pop up out of nowhere, or something to even go by super quick. I will freeze frame stuff to find out what the hell just happened. So again, that's the kind of stuff that we're looking for. Yours is super simple. I'll do a start and stop with you all night, and kind of you guys will both be on the same cue.
I just press and stop. button to.
Yep,
stop.
that's it. And it's flashing. That's when it's recording. And when you stop recording, you can probably save a little bit of battery and shut off the light too.
Should I be pointing at specific things?
Nope, you're going to be kind of touring each
wandering
location.
around, okay.
Yep, you're going to be wandering around.
Something's gonna pass
Yours,
here.
Sergio. So yours, you're basically looking, you want to try to keep somebody in view at all times. I think a bad spot to do the demo. But basically my hand is probably going to be warmer than anything else, so your colors will change in the background. And I should be, like, yellow and white are your hot spots. You're looking for blue and black to move on its own. Like, that's the biggest deal. At the next stop, I will show you evidence because we spend like a good 10 minutes there, so that way you have a better gist of what you're looking for.
Gotcha.
But again, just try to keep somebody in view. We got a nice large group tonight, should be pretty easy.
Copy.
Let's go over yours. Have you seen any numbers pop up or anything move on yours?
Just very low numbers as we came in, but mostly 0.
Okay, so we're gonna actually shut the temperature off, so hold it still. That number's going to go away. The reason why I'm doing that is because now I'm putting all the battery juice into that number you see right now. So it's going to move a lot quicker. I'm going to ask you for spikes and kind of see where we're at with each location. So that way, if it goes up, even if you say it went to 4 or something, to me, I'll just write down 4.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be an exact 4.6.
See, like now it's starting to bounce around, right?
See how fast it's moving?
Yeah.
Again, it's, I mean, my smartwatch is pretty close, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So
So it's picking up electricity.
pretty much electromagnetic fields, anything
it.
electrical. So at times I might say debunked because you're next to a parking meter. The electrical lines for that are underneath our sidewalks. I will always debunk things for you ahead of time, so that way you kind of know what's going on. Pull you up your antenna. Let's talk about this motion sensor, your REM pod. On the back where I left the flap open for you, go ahead and flip it over so you can see where the flap is open. There's 2 little white buttons. The one closest to the edge is the one that works the antenna. So go ahead and click it all the way into the edge. Nope, click it in. Flush. I feel like go all the way through. Yeah, you're good. Alright, so now flip it around. So now it's going to start flashing because there's an EMF field, different type, being generated around this antenna. So if something interrupts it, it kind of kinks it a little bit. There's a way to reset it, which there's 4 buttons on your right-hand side. The very bottom one will reset it, so that way we know it's not from your motion. If you start waving this thing around, it's going to go off again because you're interrupting the electromagnetic field around it.
Okay.
So you just want to reset it. You want to try to be still with this thing. We're going to use it for call and answer pieces later on. Like, hey, if somebody's here, make it go to blue. And it'll put it on blue and hold it there. Boom, you have proof. I'll be writing a lot of that stuff down. So again, with yours, it's going to be a lot of, if I see you moving and it goes off, it's probably from your movement. I automatically discount it.
Okay.
So go ahead and just kind of move around a little bit. Just see how it kind of is going to go off.
Right.
I usually give this to ladies because you guys walk more gracefully than us. A guy is going to hard step and it's going to jostle with every step. So again, with every movement, if I see you moving around and it's going off, you're like, Nick, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, reset, be still. That's kind of where I'm at. So where you're still right now, there's nothing interrupting the field. So if something happens,
So the only thing I should be worried about is if I need to reset, I'll press this button.
yep, you got
And
it.
that's it.
That's it.
I just hold it.
No, and again, like what it's doing right now, you should be resetting it. Reset. Just to make sure it's not you. Do you know what I'm saying?
I understand that.
So you got this.
Okay.
And we're gonna.
never turn it off. I do it all night.
When I tell them to turn their spirit boxes down, it's the same thing with your REM pod. It interrupts my mentality of telling the history. So I'll say antenna in, white button out. So you'll click that white button so it sticks out and push your antenna in.
Okay, I got you.
Got it. All right.
You're creepy in the corner.
Walla walla.
I think that's a reach area.
I'm not sure I fully understand what's happening here, but I'm excited about it. So I think we need to tour the parking lot. I'm gonna walk around.
super easy. I want you to find a color brand so we can move on.
Basically, I don't see nothing, just in the picture.
Yeah, she asked.
And they say vanilla.
Because we do have the word athlete on the word list, and John was white. I'll just put it out there. So, again, we're talking about a guy from he was born in 1923. So, again, the race card for him doesn't mean anything. So he's going to say vanilla. As racist as it sounds. So, let me see what's going on with the other spirit box, and we'll move on. All right.
So exciting. Because your cell phone did that. You might want to lower the volume on it.
Is that you? Your cell phone? What was that?
Did you set up a page, Ghostbusters?
No?
Your sister sent it.
Mute your phone so it doesn't come up when it rings.
Ghostbusters, she set up her.
Oh. Just mute your phone so it doesn't ring and interrupt the recording.
Babe, ain't nobody calling me right now.
You are very popular. You get a lot of calls.
I think this is where our car is parked. You going over a 2.5?
I'm walking. It could be my movement. See? I have to walk delicate. Well, he said if you walk pretty hard, then motion will make it right up.
Places where we can actually spread out and work. So again, it's another parking lot. But at the same time, this used to be something. This was a big deal. So this is home to the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. It actually sat in the front of this lot facing East Bay. Eliza's garden was with that where that truck is and came all the way across. And we're standing where the slave and servant quarters would have been. So again, this particular site is huge. Other tourists won't come here. There's nothing to see. You guys are going to investigate and hopefully get Eliza to come back and get some answers for you. Again, like I was telling some of the other folks, this is a level 2. You're not going to know the answers to the questions that I'm going to give you. So the reason for that is I don't want those subliminal messages in your head. This is not what color is George Washington's white horse, like what we did over there with the red bonnet. So again, this is going to be an interesting place for you guys because it is very, very active, as we can already see by Diana.
Yeah, somebody's here.
Yeah, we got something going on.
Yes, there's activity.
So, they've never done an archaeological dig here. Again, there's no reason for that device to be going off at all. There's no wiring underneath us whatsoever. So, what is this place? Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles and they had a nephew named Charles. They were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. That's why it's so huge for them. But there's another reason, and you guys are all on vacation. I don't want to talk about politics either. So, let's talk about Eliza. She's way cooler anyway. Eliza married Charles at a young age. I'm not going to tell you what that number is, but I will tell you that Charles was over double her age. So if you're asking how old she was when she got married, just know that Charles's number might come up as well. She married him because her father, over in England, thought he was dying, and he wanted to see all of his kids one last time. She didn't think he was dying yet, so she instead got married. This is the 1740s. There's no such thing as marrying for a green card or for citizenship. It wasn't even here yet. So she actually married him out of love, even with the age gap that was between them. Dad got better pretty quickly. She was right. He starts sending gifts from England over here. One of those gifts happened to be the plant indigo. I'm waiting for it to go to blue and stop, because indigo is a plant that makes blue dye that makes our blue jeans blue. You guys are wearing it right now. That's how we use it. So she had to learn how to keep it cultivated from the servants and slaves that she had here, because they came straight from the villa culture. They were farmers, basically. We get very cold temperatures down here, believe it or not, in the winter. It's not going to grow in January, February. She had to figure all that out, experiment with it here, then she moved it to a plantation in Mount Pleasant, just north of here, another piece of Pinkley property. So I'm giving you just the gist of what she's done, because this was huge for the colonies, because the rice plantations were going downhill, and she just swooped right in, was able to become a businesswoman in the middle of colonial times by using her father's contacts to sell it overseas. A businesswoman in colonial times is unheard of. So again, this is a pretty big deal for us. A couple of weird facts about Eliza you guys can ask about on your spirit boxes and things like that. So if you want to know what these answers are, stick to somebody with a spirit box. There's 3 of them out here. Obviously the marriage question. Eliza, you can ask what happened to the mansion. You can go straight to that. It's obviously not here anymore. So what happened to the mansion and what year did that tragedy happen? I'll give you that it was a tragedy. You can ask anything you want to about Eliza's death. She's pretty open, and I've gotten answers multiple times. Guys, remember, I'm out here 6 nights a week. I get these answers. Eliza, how old were you when you died? What did you die from? Where are you buried? And what U.S. president was a pallbearer at your funeral? Yes, that's how important she was. A president carried her to her grave. If you're going to ask about her children, please tread lightly. Kind of the same heated warning I told you guys about with Big John, with the headaches and all that stuff. Eliza does not want to talk about one of the tragedies that happened with her children. If you're going to ask, don't poke the bear. Maybe get the names, how many kids she had total, how many boys, how many girls. Leave it alone. All activity will stop, including what's going on with the K2 meter. It'll go down to 0, and we're dead for the rest of the night, no pun intended, because there's not going to be anything that's going to happen. She has that much rain. I've seen it dozens of times. And then I go home scratching my head, and then Sergio calls me and says, sorry, man, I asked about the tragedy.
Sorry.
It's all Sergio's fault. Yeah, exactly. Even though I brought it up already, she knows I'm kind of warning you guys. Last but not least, what was the last thing? Eliza was the second wife named Eliza from Charles back to back. His first wife, Eliza, died, and he married another Eliza. They both go by their maiden name. They both start with the letter L. That's all I'm going to give you. So again, you can ask what her maiden name was, so that way we know which Eliza we're actually talking to. Again, keep in mind, some of these like the stories I tell you tonight, I always look for those 2 clues, like with the Art Faircloth number 40 over there. We have 3 Charleses that we're dealing with and 2 Elizas. I need to know who the heck is giving me these messages. So we have the father, the son, and the nephew as far as the Charleses go. So that way I know what numbers I need to look up, what's actually matching up. So we are going to spread out in this lot. Cameras, we have 3 of them working tonight. Keep in mind, people have their cars parked in here, and if it was one of yours, you would not want a cameraman YouTubing your car. So if you see somebody going to their vehicle, you want to walk away gracefully. Also, with photos, we don't want to be taking pictures of license plates. People get a little funny about that. Just saying. As far as lasers, also keep in mind, you're going to set off car alarms. Somebody's going to get left behind if we start running. It's probably going to be me, and I'm looking at shoes. You guys all did pretty well tonight, so it's probably going to be me with the heavy bag on my back. So I'm going to check you guys in on all of the websites that you guys bought your tickets from. London's going to start bouncing around with all of you, and then I'm going to start doing the same thing. We will spend a good 10 to 15 minutes here based on the evidence that's coming through. So definitely get those spirit boxes up. Let's search the place. Let's see what we got going on. Spread out. Got it. What's going on?
Eliza, what was your maiden name?
Eliza, how you be?
Mute it. Don't answer it. Come on, mute your phone. You're ruining the experience. I wish I had the spirit box. I want to ask questions.
She's the only one that could ask questions?
Oh, can we all ask questions?
Yeah.
Eliza, where are you buried? Are you underneath us? Please don't come home with me.
Eliza, you can come home with me. I'd love to learn some history. There was a lot of...
babe. Don't say that, not even jokingly. Don't invite a spirit home with you, Jack.
There was a lot of Elizas in Middleton, too.
Well, when he
Remember
said
the
that,
same one?
when he said that, and the indigo, I wonder, is this landmark related? Is it part of the Middleton family?
Probably is.
Because he said a lot of things that was set at the Middleton Plantation Club.
Yeah. Eliza, how you doing?
Oh my God, my reader, it's jumping to 63. Oh my God.
You better tell my boy.
It's jumping to 60s and 50s. Eliza, is that you? If it's you, show my number at higher than 60.
Still jumping?
16, 20, 19, 25, 23, 36, 38, 39. Oh my goodness.
Babe, you got somebody right next to you. Babe, on the camera, there's somebody right next to you.
No,
Yeah.
my meter's going off the chart.
Babe, I see somebody right next to you.
Where?
Right next to you, to your right.
My meter's going off the chart.
Look, I see somebody.
Are you kidding me? Or are you serious? You really see someone?
Yeah. A blue shade.
Oh my
Now
God.
she just raised her hand.
My meter's going crazy right now. Serge, you're not kidding, right?
No.
There's something next to me?
Yeah. With a gown.
Serge, are you messing with me? That's not funny, Serge. That's not funny at all. That's not funny. My meter really is going crazy.
Sorry, baby.
That was messed up, Serge.
Eliza, where are you? Eliza, are you a fan of The Sopranos? Your meter's still going nuts?
Going insane.
We've asked how many children he's had in Pacific. We've asked about the president at Imperial. I
Still going nuts?
we're asking just about like
Go back to that spot.
we
need to get Nick over here because this is going nuts.
He's right there. Call him.
How do you know what? Nick? Can you tell Nick my meter's going crazy?
so we may not get them answered having food on here.
If you want to get her favorite color, go ahead.
Mr. Nick,
Yes, sir.
we got somebody hitting 60s over there. Continuously.
I saw 60s several times.
Okay.
And I saw 60s when I was over here. I saw it go up to 50s when I went over there. It just keeps moving. From anywhere from 2 to like 60.
60 is a great spike. I've seen your device go all the way up to 149 so far. Like that's the highest I've seen it
Okay.
in this lot. This is exactly where it happened. The other
It
lady,
just did 80, but you're here, so I don't know if that's you.
nope, it's definitely not me.
But it was like going insane. There was a period where the green line was stuck.
Okay. Just keep giving me those numbers. And do that like that call and answer thing, like I said.
Any answers yet?
I got one.
How many?
What'd you get?
Children?
Did she have 3 children? Okay, so that wasn't right. We did get the number 3, and then we asked, why did she marry Charles? And then we got love through the
No
box.
way.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of activity on this meter.
With that
Oh.
also,
Good
like
luck,
you're gonna
guys.
ask, like, Eliza, if you're actually standing there, can you back away to make the
And I am trying to stand still and I reset to make sure.
Yes, sir.
I want to show you some evidence so you know what you're looking at. You guys can both take a look at it. I don't mind. It actually happened up in that corner where that couple is up there. And it was about a year ago, but it is still probably one of my best pieces that I've caught. So I still show it every single night because it is the most definitive piece so you know what you're looking for. The group called me up there because they thought they were seeing shadows, and I always go up to debunk first, so that way I can kind of show them like, hey, it's not always the catch of the eye or whatever. So I always point it that way so you can actually get a better gist. So orange is obviously the wall. You're going to see 2 living people walking past. So those 2 people are alive. It's just a couple walking by. Did you see their heads?
Yep.
Right.
Okay, so let's find the dead people. Okay, Facebook wants to cooperate. Come on. There we go. So you're going to see 2 dead people walking the opposite way.
I saw that.
Did you see the 2
Yep.
heads
Right.
walking by? So with that, keep in mind there's always a person in view right here. He'll come into view, so they should be orange. They're black.
Wait.
So that means it's the coldest area in there, and it's usually a 25 to 30 degree difference going from yellow to black.
Okay.
So again, I've had this thing analyzed by firemen that use that on the job, and they're like, it's 2 heads. You can see it like this because we've gone through it frame by frame. So that's why I like to kind of show you guys the evidence. So you're literally looking for those black and blue spots to move on their own or to make a shape of some sort.
Gotcha.
I've seen that before in the past.
Gotcha.
Don't go far. I want to show you guys some evidence too. So keep going. You got something going on.
Oh, I have the EMF.
Whoa. Hey, baby. That's you.
Please stop making jokes. You're really messing with my mood. I don't want to joke. I really want to take this serious. I don't care if you don't believe.
Hey, you don't think I'm taking it seriously?
Stop with the joke.
That way, any kind of movement, we got a camera ready, videotape it, and see what actually happens. So again, those are meant to be still. So the more still the both of you can be, the better picture you can take. See how controlled it is? Because everybody has something going on.
What number?
It's moving so quickly. The highest I've seen is the 80s. Where, babe?
Your stuff. Your stuff.
Any spikes?
What happened during the tragedy? What happened to your mansion, Eliza? Why is it gone now?
Sorry.
You okay?
Ghost tour. We're looking for paranormal activity. We haven't found anything yet. I know. Right? Yes. If I find them, I'll send them your way. Have a good one. Any spikes?
You want to hear something creepy? I've been asking lots of questions. And I said, Eliza, were you a good mother? And I got a small spike. Like really tiny. Then I said, Eliza, and I swear I was standing still. There was nothing before. I said, Eliza, were you a bad mother? And this thing went off the charts all the way up to 80. And I hit reset and it kept doing. I thought that was interesting. And I asked about the tragedy, if there was a fire. Alright, let's go.
So here's the hard part about that. It's not that hot. It doesn't, well, like a fire. It doesn't melt houses. Yeah.
They got a lot, you know.
What did we hear? Bring it on. What do we get?
We heard that she married.
We asked why she was married.
Married for love.
Okay.
The word love came up.
Nice.
House was burned in a fire.
Okay. We have the word melt over here, so nice job.
The president was Washington.
Oh.
Tell him
How did you get that?
They're the Washington Nationals game.
Love it.
Well, we just said, who is with us? And then it said American heroes. And we said, who's the American hero? And she said, she is.
I can dig that. Like, that's pretty awesome stuff. Like, I am so excited you guys found Washington. So, I kind of played a little word trick on you guys. When we first got here, I said, we're not going to be giving you questions like, what color is George Washington's white horse? That's your subliminal message to see if you guys are just going to come up with it off the top of your heads. Most people pass with a fail, as did all of you, so good job. But I am super stoked that Washington came through. That is a very, very big deal. All right, so let's get you the rest of the answers. You guys heard the number 22, right? Very loud and clear when they asked how old Eliza was when she got married. And that is the very correct answer of 22. That makes Charles 45 when they got married. So 23 years difference between them. They were only married for 14 years due to his death. And yes, she remained a widow. So again, very interesting stuff. Your guys' readings were pretty much off the chart with the EMFs. We got all the way up to 90 on this one. Diana, yours only goes to 25, remember. So this one is 90. This is probably one of the most high numbers I've seen on that. Again, I've seen it spike at 149 in this lot, which is the highest I've ever seen it go. We've had this for what, about 4 months now?
I did ask some questions over here and it spiked up too.
Did you get anything where it stayed put, where you said, hey, make it go to purple, and it went to purple?
Not purple, but the next color I think was green.
Okay.
And it did stay in green for quite a while.
Okay.
But the highest I think I saw, like you said, 90. I saw 80 twice.
Okay, yeah, we wrote those down, and then you had that spike of 90 while I was with you, and I'm definitely not 90 degrees worth of EMF. So, lots of cool stuff. You have something else?
Yeah, well, just now it was like going crazy. It was all the way up there red, and then we got those things. Boston coat has. Don't blink.
Yeah, don't blink. So something means something going to happen on your camera, which means at this point you can stop yours, kind of give your hands a break. Like everything's
just asked her if she was sexy.
Are you hot, Mama? And did all the men want you? Why are you married 4 times? She's trying to find the right man.
Jack, vamos para hacer fotos en French.
Anything coming up on your end, buddy?
No.
No, in French.
Again, it's not going to catch something every night, but
Yeah.
it's
Not
still
that I've seen.
it's still kind of cool to watch. And again, you might get EVPs out of it too. I mean, I've had things come through where I can't make it out, and I can still analyze audio on anything. I can just steal the audio from a video and say what the hell happened here,
Yeah, yeah.
and kind of see what's going on. So, but Nice and Still makes a nice, easy video to watch for sure. So you're in the right spot for sure. You're like, man, this guy made us walk like half a mile.
Just taking a break.
And who was your most favorite husband out of all 4 of them? You sound like a hussy. What time is it, babe? You ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell Nick. What's the one thing you
Are you
regret
ready?
in your whole life?
I'm not.
The laser people didn't set off that car alarm.
And why did you like being pirate so much?
Yeah, go something.
This will be wrapped up in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So let's hang tight.
And
5 minutes.
how tall
We'll
were you?
No
post
problem,
this.
baby. Yeah, take a seat. Relax.
I know. So where are you bugs?
There's no bugs there.
I don't really think you're here right now.
We wanted to shine a laser against the wall.
I guess to you.
Now it'll hurt your head side.
Did you get
You haven't talked much. Is this what you expected?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm just trying to go
Okay, we are here. You have to go
do the right thing for the group. Make sure I catch some good video.
She ever did.
normally, like before, we would ask who was the skeptic, and we'd hand it to them so that we'd hear all her commentary. Like, this isn't real. Like, I don't do this, and just to see, like, oh, this is actually real.
Yeah. No, it was great. It's been fantastic.
And
Yeah, I
how
love
much
it.
did it cost for your freedom?
Oh, that's a good question.
And how did you die? And how did you die? I don't understand. How did you die? And
Any spikes?
how did you pay for your
I really went all around, but I think the only spike was when I got like
The
7
first
meters,
parking
like
lot?
he said.
And did you like
I got so
wearing
close
a
to the
shirt?
parking meters and then it spiked, so I'm pretty sure it's that.
Yeah.
But nothing like the last stop, no.
And what was the name of another lover? What was the name of another lover? What was the name of another lover?
Man, you're not very chatty.
All right. I'm going to take the wall now. Let's get those spirit boxes turned down. What other thing did you guys hear on yours? Anything?
Should I shut this off?
Yeah, you can stop it now.
Okay.
The word project came up